Hi, it's Dave Michaels from Talking Points. I'm at Interactions 23, the NICE Customer CX event. I'm with Greg Webb. Greg, I've known you for, 10 years, something like that.
It's been a long time.
It's been a long time. And you've had a number of different roles in this industry. You are currently the CTO of Eventus. Is that Eventus?
The Eventus Solutions Group.
You are like the premier NICE CX implementation partner, is that?
We are. We take on some of the largest, most complex implementations that NICE has through their partner community, and we make these things a reality for our clients.
So you see a lot of different things when you do these implementations. You
Sure.
see some of the biggest customers, and you actually represent multiple brands besides NICE.
Sure. I definitely support a bunch of the major CCaaS vendors in the industry.
But this is a nice event, and you saw the keynote earlier. They're talking about a lot of different stuff here. So what I want to ask you about is, when you're talking to customers and they're looking at NICE, what are some of the considerations that they're going through when they evaluate your company and NICE and where they want to be in their context?
Sure. I think everybody knows and everybody feels it. With all the cool technologies that are out there, everyone wants to harness AI and harness all those capabilities. But as we saw during the keynote, one of those key elements is actually migrating into the cloud first to be able to start harnessing and taking advantage of all those technologies. And one of the things I love about NICE
in fact, they said number one, first rule is go all cloud.
All cloud. It's the only way to be elastic. It's only the way to be able to try it out with low risk. It's the only feasible way to kind of.
So does that mean you're only doing prem to cloud, or are you doing cloud to cloud, or what?
It's interesting. In the industry, a lot of people kind of moved to cloud a little bit early, and they did more lift and lands, and they weren't really happy with some of the initial steps they took. So I actually do a lot of cloud to cloud also.
Okay. So what else? Cloud architecture. What else? What's number two?
Yeah. So if you look at kind of the great ways to do it, the architecture itself is foundational at NICE. Where these Microsoft lives, the availability, the options that you have when it comes to a carrier, all those kind of check boxes that we need to even start the plan.
You're talking about the stack.
The stack. And if we start talking about the stack, you start looking at all the different components that need to come together for CCaaS. Your bots and your IVR and your routing strategies and your agents, and NICE has that whole, the workforce optimization. They have that whole spectrum really covered for you.
And then I heard you earlier talk about the ilities. What are the ilities?
So it's kind of a made-up word I had years ago.
So I make up words all the time.
So if you kind of look at some of the things that we need to evaluate the platform at, availability, reliability, elasticity, all those ilities, we're used to what on-prem did. So let's talk about how those ilities translate really well to cloud services. And NICE has huge check marks on all those.
5 years ago, it was all about omni-channels. That just people still talk about that?
I think that we're still really stuck in a world where people are still trying to launch some of their, I know it sounds old school, but their chat and their email.
We keep getting new channels.
New channels, but what omni-channel really has always been about, we discussed this for years, is the cohesive coherence experience across those channels. And the way that NICE manages those digital channels makes that a possibility.
So channels, feature sets still important?
Feature sets are interesting. What we want to avoid is just complete lift and lands. Lift and lands are not very interesting. So where it really comes down to is, let's figure out what features and services map really well, which ones have gaps that we need to think about, and which ones should we just throw out and try to kind of do something a little bit new and take advantage of CCaaS technology.
So this sounds too easy. I could help a customer with a multi-channel and feature sets and the ilities, stuff like that. What about the hard stuff? What about workflow?
Yeah, so a lot of the world that we came from is every time the business wanted to do something was a massive project that IT needed to be taken care of. So what you start seeing with these new CCaaS tools, especially with NICE, is it empowers the business. The business is actually able to change functionality, put different routing strategies, different business outcomes, and they're able to take advantage of their platform without everything being a massive IT project along the way.
Okay. We've covered a lot. Anything else that they ask you for before they make a decision?
Yeah, I think there's three big ones. Obviously a lot of these contact centers, they can't get away from their metrics. They can't get away from their reports.
They love metrics.
So we need to make sure that, while we want to take advantage of what CCaaS analytics and reporting is doing, we need to figure out how to make sure that the operations don't get disrupted during that time, and then how to actually do it. And again, the raw data, the data sharing, the data feeds, all those things are just huge positives.
That's one of three.
Number two is how you manage the platform. What does an upgrade schedule look like, and a release schedule, and how do you stay modern all the time, and how do you plan?
You just shut it down on Friday night and you do upgrades.
That's right. That's an awesome way to think about it. And I think cloud actually did that for a while. But how do you do that in a way so that platform management? And then the last part is the financials. How do you make this really cost effective? We're not looking for cheap, we're looking for cost effective. How do you make sure that you're maximizing every single dollar for your contact center operations?
So you're kind of a combination between a sales agent, a implementation partner, a BPO, I heard. What am I missing?
Yeah, there are four basic pillars. We help codify the visions and come up with plans. That's the kind of the consulting part. Hands-on keyboard, implementing it, workflows, IVRs, desktops. We help a lot of organizations manage their system, tier 1, tier 2, and we are a BPO.
Excellent. Well, thank you, Greg, very much. It's Eventus Solutions.
Eventus Solutions Group.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.